What do they say that our enemies are going to do? The Green Bay Packers, as well as actually, what do they say about the Chicago Bears? Because that seems to be the one that Ryan and Anson are laughing at because they don't believe in the quarterback. So talk about the Chicago Bears. I want to get Anson's take.
Matt Miller, I'm just going to go right what he thinks about what the Bears are going to draft.
Boom.
The Bears are going to draft. They love, and we talked about it, Ashton Genty. According to scouts around the league who observed the team's activity this offseason, the Boise State running back could be the pick at number 10 if he's still there. Chicago's got 2 second-round picks. It could be aggressive.
And early second-round picks, too, 39 and 41.
The only problem is the Raiders might be trying to grab him. I don't know. I think the Raiders need more than Ashton Genty, but who knows what they're going to do. They're a wild card. They have a whole new regime led by Pete Carroll and Tom Brady. I don't even know who their general manager is anymore because they fired both their head coach and their general manager at midseason last year. So the Raiders are a wild card. The Bears, they're a really good running back away from being the Lions from 3 years ago. Because let's face it, Genty could be Jahmyr Gibbs. Ben Johnson loves Jahmyr Gibbs.
Different type of running back. Ashton Genty runs with a little bit more power, a little bigger, a little stiffer. I can't even compare Jahmyr Gibbs to anybody else I've ever seen because there is no Jahmyr Gibbs comparison. Anson, where are you with the Chicago Bears this draft? Ashton Genty, what could he add to it, or Tyler Warren if it's not? What are you with the Bears? Because they have a defense. They now have a coach that is going to, for lack of a better word, steal everything that works here in Detroit. He's going to bring it to Chicago and try to have some same success. Where are you with their draft?
Real quick to address the Ben Johnson thing, I think that Ben Johnson will be understood more by the Lions and what they want to do. Sure, he's going to understand our personnel, but he has no idea what our new direction offensively and defensively is going to be this year. So I don't really see that as some insider spy being able to flip the script on the Lions. I don't believe in Catfish Caleb. We all know this. If you haven't figured that out yet, you haven't been listening. What I've seen the Bears do is what we saw the commies do back when they were the Redskins. They went out and they spent all this money in free agency and guys in their late 20s and early 30s, and everyone picked them to be the champ. I've never really seen a crazy offseason in free agency where a team just makes a major plunge and signs 5, 6, 7 guys, and everybody in the offseason's checking them as the next team. It just rarely ever works out. You bring in new coaches, new personnel with a second-year quarterback. To me, that doesn't translate into 12 wins. It probably won't even translate into 10. Listen, the Bears needed to make moves. They have to keep Caleb upright if they have any hopes of making any kind of move in this division. I don't think that they have the culture. And I think that what Ben thinks he's going to bring, he's bringing the clipboard. I don't think he understands what Dan and Brad did on the other levels outside of the X's and O's. And again, I just don't think that quarterback, even with Ashton Genty lining up next to him, is going to be the thing that puts him over the top. He needs another offensive lineman. Period.
They signed offense and defensive lineman.
I know, but he needs another offensive lineman. That man was on his back
they have more than one pick.
They just got 2 All-Pros and a Pro Bowler. They got 3 offensive linemen.
I still think they need more.
All
they have 7 picks.
So then maybe they need.
They have 7?
Maybe they need Thanos. Maybe that's what it is. The one thing I would.
The glove?
The one thing I meant, the Infinity Gauntlet. Apparently he didn't need it in game. So apparently he doesn't need it. But I disagree about the part about Ben Johnson not knowing how to bring that culture. He was here. He was in those meetings. He was there with Dan. When Dan talked to the players, he was behind the scenes. Like, he saw what the things were. He saw players when they went to the coaches and, what the concerns were, what the gripes were, what the communication was. I think he was every part, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So as it relates to culture, if we're talking about, I think he knows what works here. And I think he will do his best to bring that to Chicago. Now, where I will give you some agreeance is, now they're going to vibe with it. Because being able to know a thing and being able to relate that thing is a whole nother ballgame. I've seen coaches like Eric Mangini. Eric Mangini, one-on-one, he was a great coach. The smartest coach I've ever met.
Mangenius was his name.
100, because he is. Like 100%. But when he was with the team, when he was in the same space with all the guys and on the field, he's a different guy. He just couldn't relate past the X's and O's. So we'll see, to your point. Tom Maswell.
All right, let's see what the Packers here.
Are the Packers done?
No.
A lot has been made of Jordan Love. Now, Jordan Love's regression last year, sophomore slump, although it was his 5th year. He was injured at the beginning of the season. But they took shots at Jordan Love last year. They've taken shots at Matt LaFleur. Maybe Matt LaFleur was a bit of a, as you say, catfish. I doubt it. Tell me about these Packers.
I will. Matt Miller of ESPN. What we're hearing about the Packers draft. The rival scout told me his team expects the Packers to focus on adding defensive players. Predicted Green Bay would draft a cornerback in round 1, a defensive tackle in round 2, and then shift to a value receiver in round 3. So there's your Packers. And they have taken a wide receiver in the first round quite a number of times. They're saying this year they will not do that. So they're looking at defense.
Their receiver core it's funny because it's a good receiver core, but they don't have that standout player, and that's where Josh Jacobs got in trouble because he made that comment at the Super Bowl where he was like, "Yeah, we just need a number one." Like, oops, I said that, so the cat's out the bag. But they tend to focus on defense. A lot of DBs have been drafted by them. They had one, but he's a crash out.
Well, if they're in a tight game with the Lions, the Vikings, the Bears, anybody, and you're down 5-6 points.
Malik Willis.
4 minutes left. You want to put Malik Willis in?
Put Malik Willis in the
Who do you
game.
throw the ball to? Who's your guy?
Reed, but he's but I have to scheme him open. Romeo Dobbs, I got to scheme him open.
And Christian Watkins is the big, point receiver, but
their tight end
you can't
might
trust
be
him.
Their tight end might be their best receiving option.
Him.
Yes.
Tyler Croft?
He's the best receiving option for them.
Yeah, Tyler Kraft is a stud. That was very reminiscent of when the Ravens took Hunter. Who was it? They took the 2 guys. He took a guy right before Martin Andrews.
Huntley, yeah.
Hunter Henry?
No, not Hunter Henry.
Isaiah Likely?
I forget his name, but they took 2 that year, one ahead of the other, and it was supposed to be that guy, but it ended up being the later guy. Same thing with Tucker over.
Remember what the Patriots did? They broke the mold.
Absolutely.
Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez.
Gonzalez. Aaron Hernandez, if you don't have that BS though, he would have been different. Like Aaron Hernandez was the guy.
He was.
Gronk was number 2.
CTE got the best of him.
Yeah.
I think
his bad childhood.
The best thing the Packers can do is go defense. This is a hell of an offensive division, period. Like everybody's good offensively. So they need to slow down the Lions and everybody else. If they can get Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State in the 3rd round as that cheap wide receiver in the 3rd, that's a guy that I would fear with them. That's a big-body receiver that Christian Watkins has never turned into, and that will open everything for Tucker Kraft and Josh Jacobs, as well as our boy Jaden Reed, University of Michigan State's Jaden Reed. I look at this team as still the team I fear the most in division. Jordan Love is not going anywhere, but he needs that dynamic target that everyone talks around the NFL. We don't talk about anybody on that team, but is he a real superstar quarterback? And how long will Josh Jacobs be able to run for them? Until he gets that guy, I don't think that they can win the division.
Jaden Reed of Michigan State because the transfer portal wasn't open yet. Before we'll take a quick commercial break.
I got one more for the Vikings.
Minnesota.
Sure.
You know what? Go through it, man. Let's hit it.
Yeah, we'll go to Vikings.
Hit it.
They only have 4 picks, guys. They have 24, 97, 139, and 187. So the Vikings, they are a prime trade back candidate in round 1. They would try to be an easy way for them to pick up more draft capital. Other teams looking for a quarterback they could trade. Minnesota, if they decide to stay at 24, they're looking at a cornerback or safety. Cornerback or safety for the Purple Gang. And right now, their quarterback is J.J. McCarthy.
Let me say this. Let me say this. This is not related to just the Minnesota Vikings. This is about Detroit Lions. Win your division. In fact, win all 6 games. Right. And I know it's tough. I know it's hard. You got to go on the road. It's tough. The team knows you, especially Chicago. You guys always have this thing where it's, win by 3 at the end of the game. Win your division, because all I'm hearing is, if this works, if the offensive line can protect for a quarterback that struggled last year, if the culture can be understood as Ben Johnson seems to play fit, the Green Bay Packers, they got to draft some defensive players, and we got to figure out what's going on with Jordan Love's mindset and who's going to be the player. Is it a wide receiver or is it Tucker Kraft? Oh, Minnesota, is it J.J. McCarthy or are they still in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes? What does that team look like? Detroit knows who they are. The Lions know who they are. We don't know who we're drafted yet, but you know what this team is. They better win some games. Like, I'm getting back excited. I'm getting ramped up. All these ifs about the other team, doesn't make you happy that they're not necessarily ifs about your franchise.